Boy, today's been kind of a crazy day. I ended up going to the shop 3 times, once early in the morning to do a reading, and then I had to come home because I had forgotten to bring some stuff with me. And then I left the information on the moon on the printer, so I had to run back and go get that as well. Just a reminder, do you have your release? If you don't have your release, now is a good time to write it and have some place to burn it. You can burn it after we're done if you aren't in a place where it can be done safely. I think that I am very grateful today. We had it was termed a peaceful sign waving on Broadway, very near my shop today. It's supposed to end right in the next couple minutes. And I drove by it twice. And what an amazing amount of well-mannered, peaceful protesters. It's protests like this that I can fully get behind, because everybody does have the right to free speech, and that is something that I will always defend. But we don't all have the right for violence and looting. It is that is unacceptable, and it doesn't honor the protest. So I would like to send out my thanks to Live in Everett, and also to the Everett Music Initiative, who put this together, for the good job that they did, and let them know that they did a wonderful job. So we're going to go ahead and cast the circle. As a reminder, for those of you who've been here before, and for anybody who's new, recognize that as I cast my circle, I include the camera. I am walking behind the camera, so it is in my circle. So anybody that is watching on their screen is also included in my circle. Now, if you have the desire to do your own circle at the same time, you are more than welcome to do that as well. In order to cast this circle, I am using salt the first time around the circle. I am using water the second time around the circle, and then I will be using incense for the third and final time around the circle. To recognize the elements, I use candles, and I have little owl candle glasses that I think they're probably jelly glasses, but they're shaped of the owl. They're in the right color for the each element, and then I have a clear one for the goddess. So and then also on my altar I have a moonstone for the full moon. I'm going to be burning in my cauldron. I was actually thinking at one point this last couple of days that I would have a fire in the fireplace again, but it's pretty warm outside, and I think that would be too warm for me. So beyond that, I have my release. I've got a candle snuffer for the end, and my fire stick, which I have to say works a whole lot better inside my house than it does at the parks. So if you would join me as we go around the circle, I think we're ready to start. So I walk this circle once around to cleanse and consecrate the ground. That wasn't an earthquake, that was me hitting the camera. I walk this circle once again between the worlds all time can bend. I walk this circle thrice this time for the protection of the Lord and the Lady are mine. Okay, we're going to call in the elements right now. So if you'll all face to the east. Hail, guardians of the east, element of air. We invite you to attend and protect our circle tonight. Bring with you your gifts of communication and cleanliness. Send some winds to blow aside the energies that are no longer serving us, leaving us in a happier, healthier place. We bid you hail and welcome. Okay, and to the south. Hail, guardians of the south, element of fire. We invite you to attend and protect our ritual tonight. Please bring with you your gifts of warmth and purifying, to purify the energies that are no longer serving us, to give way for better energies to move in. We bid you hail and welcome. To the west, hail, guardians of the west, element of water. We invite you to attend and protect our ritual tonight. Please bring with you your gifts of compassion and intuition so that we know when to treat people nice and we listen to our gut in order to do it. We bid you hail and welcome. And to the north. Hail, guardians of the north, element of earth. We invite you to attend and protect our ritual tonight. Please bring with you your gifts of stability and abundance so that we may have everything we need and not be so afraid. We bid you hail and welcome. And for the goddess, Mother Goddess of both moon and star, who rules all planets near and far, who rules the earth and all within, who sets the time our lives begin, who brings us happiness and mirth, who give us value and self-worth. With every loving touch she gives unto this plane on which we live, we ask you for your presence here and hold you in our hearts so dear. We bid you hail and welcome. Okay, the circle is cast. So this is going to be a bumpy ride. If you haven't seen on Facebook, we currently have, we had a lunar eclipse this morning, the first of 3 eclipses. It's called eclipse season. We have 4 planets in retrograde, and the full moon is moving into Sagittarius, and it is square with Mars and opposite Venus, love and hate. This lunar eclipse, because of Mars, is going to be impulsive and angry. But it's also opposite Venus. Unfortunately, it's Venus retrograde, which is not a good omen for love relationships. So strong relationships will withstand the test through patience and unconditional love. However, it will pose It can pose a real threat to strained relationships. Impatience, sexual frustration, and lack of self-control could turn love to hate, resulting in impulsive actions and hostility. And it could also bring the danger of war between enemies. A lunar eclipse makes the moon stronger and brings your home, family, intimate relationships into sharper focus. Opposing forces such as work versus home, what you need versus what you want, can create inner tension and external pressures. This can lead to conflict and crises that drain your energy. And you add to this all of the stuff that's going on here across the United States and the world. It's going to be a time of difficulty. The lunar qualities of emotions and instincts reach their peak at a lunar eclipse, so stay home tonight. So use your increased emotional strength and intuition to overcome any relationship challenges. It is subconscious awareness allows for an impartial and balanced look at your personal relationships. Listen to your intuition. You will clearly see any relationship dynamics or negative feelings causing disharmony. The lunar eclipse represents a reset. It's like it turns off the moon and turns it back on. And it is, and that can clear away emotional baggage that you've had for the previous 6 months from the last eclipse. Lunar eclipse square Mars brings simmering anger to the surface, so care is required to avoid being hurt or causing harm. Think before you speak, okay? Think before you act. Take a minute and breathe. You could lose your temper with a loved one or face emotional attacks from others. There's a danger when taking risks or acting impulsively. But holding on to anger and frustration is not advised. So some degree of emotional discomfort is going to be expected. The key here is handling the quick anger. It's to release your frustrations in a controlled way. Avoid becoming overly defensive or mean if someone shares feelings with you. Courage is needed to face what is making you feel threatened. Take a minute and think before you speak. Okay, lunar eclipse opposite Venus brings the potential for laziness, gluttony, carelessness with money, and indiscretion in love. People are calling it the COVID-19, kind of like the freshman 15, so get up and walk around and move. Not tonight, wait until tomorrow, but still, movement helps you with depression, it helps you with anxiety, and you just feel better because your blood's moving, you've got oxygen all in your body that's new, and that is a good way to help deal with all of what is going on right now. You will likely want more love and affection, but have trouble giving it. If you're dating, you may have a tendency to lower your standards just to be with someone rather than being alone. If you're already attached, tension may arise due to different moods or needs. If your emotional needs are not fulfilled through human contact, you may feel an urge to substitute with sweet food, drinks, drugs, or spending money. Right now, we are in the middle of a quad retrograde. This means there are 4 planets retrograding, and that is creating a tremendous amount of different energy. The 4 planets right now retrograding are Pluto, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn. And Mercury is going to go into retrograde in a couple weeks. So Venus has been retrograding since the 13th of May, Pluto since the 25th of April, Jupiter since May 14, and Saturn since May 11th. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what to expect from each retrograde. Venus retrograde can make receiving love and affection more difficult and can indicate financial stress. Old friends or lovers may appear, or you may relive past life experiences in order to sort out karmic issues. But pleasant destiny encounters are possible, and you could find your soulmate and experience a feeling of inevitability or familiarity. Pluto retrograde is one that brings a lot of fear into our lives. During this period, we'll all be suffering in a lot of ways we might not be ready for. This retrograde does not end until October 4th and really reminds us to help others as best we can in times of struggle. The Saturn retrograde began in Aquarius and ends in Capricorn, meaning energies are a bit all over the place. As this retrograde moves forth, we will feel like we're losing sight of some of the things that matter. Some of us might struggle with serious emotional issues, and others might finally come to terms with the baggage they've been carrying. And Jupiter retrograde is the last of the four being retrograding right now, and makes one of the most important. It is one of the most important right now. The Capricorn retrograde will only last until the 12th of September, but it will have a serious hold on us. We will all be offered a bit of good luck and sent forth the seeds of happiness while we work through how to use these things ourselves, because when used properly, these energies will work wonders. So it's not all bad. There's good stuff to be had. I'm going to tell you the same thing I've probably told you 100 times, and that is you get to write your story. What are you going to look for? Are you going to look for the happy, or are you going to look for the unhappy and the miserable? It's up to you. The effects of tonight's lunar eclipse will probably not last the usual 6 months of eclipse energy, because it is going to be superseded by the July 5th lunar eclipse, and that will be and then we will also have a solar eclipse on June 21st, which I believe is right at the summer solstice. It is, while not everything we're currently facing is bad, some of it is going to be frustrating, and we should keep that in mind. I know it sounds a little bit odd, but this is just how things are right now, and you have to make the best of them. It is the case of the lady that came into my shop sometime in April and said to me, my sister said that what I need to be doing right now is looking for the silver lining. What is the wonderful stuff that has happened during this time? Sure, there's been hard stuff, but there's been some wonderful stuff too. For me, being able to do this online and reach so many people has been amazing. The wisdom from Gran brought me back to doing things that I used to love to do and hadn't done in a very long time. So there is a silver lining. Look for the silver lining and focus on that. And tell stories about that. If you have something that has been brought you back to something you love, or something amazing that happened, write it down on the page here and let everybody see, so that they can say, hey, maybe that happened to me too, and I just missed it. Let's share our good stories. So what I want you to do right now is, with your release, it's time to burn it. Whatever your release is, also add the release of fear for what is coming next, because we don't know how we're going to come out of this. And it is, but we are very adaptable. Obviously, you're listening to me do the full moon release online. That's something that I never would have thought that we would do, and yet here we are doing it. So release the fear, because we will get through this, and we will end up in a good place. Okay, so go ahead, and if you're burning your release right now, burn it. If you're not, if you're going to wait until after the circle, that's okay too. And I'm using rose petals for love as my as my offering. So please repeat after me. I release all that no longer serves me or my dreams. I open to all that supports my growth and expansion. I embrace doorways opening to transform my life. Miracles flow to me in every breath. Abundant Mother, moon so bright, hear our pleas upon this night. Your fertile power, lend this spell, make it potent, strong, and well. Moon of finest silver wane, take away bad luck and pain. As you fade into the night, bring new hope back into sight. This is what we ask of thee. As we will, so mote it be. And releasing the circle. We're going to start with the goddess. Mother goddess of both moon and star, who rules all planets near and far, who rules the earth and all within, who sets the time our lives begin, who brings us happiness and mirth, who gives us value and self-worth. With every loving touch she gives unto this plane on which we live. We thank you for your presence here and hold you in our hearts so dear. We bid you hail and farewell. And we're going to start releasing the quarters with the East. Guardians of the East, element of air, thank you for attending and protecting our ritual tonight. Please leave with us your gifts of communication and of cleaner energy. We bid you hail and farewell. To the south, Guardians of the South, element of fire, thank you for attending and protecting our circle tonight. Please leave with us your gifts of warmth and purity. We bid you hail and farewell. To the west, Guardians of the West, element of water, we thank you for attending and protecting our ritual tonight. Please leave with us your gifts of compassion and intuition so that we might know in which direction we need to go and do it with kindness. We bid you hail and farewell. West didn't want to go home. And to the north, Guardians of the North, element of earth, we thank you for attending and protecting our ritual tonight. Please leave with us your gifts of stability and abundance so that we may have enough to share and we may be comfortable in what we're doing. We bid you hail and farewell. The circle is open but never broken. May all beings and elementals attracted to this ritual be on their way, harming none. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be. Thank you for attending with me. I am really enjoying doing this, and I'm happy to see so many repeat folks. Means that you're having a good time doing this as well. I do have a couple of housekeeping announcements. I received today the cancellation of my park reservation for July, so we will be doing the June new moon, the July full moon, and the July new moon here through live again. And as soon as we have the ability to meet at the parks, we're going to go ahead and go back to the parks. But what we are going to do, because we have gathered such a large audience of people who can't come, we're going to go ahead and still do them on Facebook Live as well. The other thing is the summer solstice, Litha, is coming up, I think on June 21st. And so my question to you is, we can do this one of two ways. I can write a ritual and just put it on my Facebook so that it would be a solitary ritual that you can do by yourself if you want, or we can do something through live again. Please let me know through Facebook which one you would like to do, and we will celebrate Litha together apart. We walked, according to the newspaper, we are now in phase 2 of the opening of the state, which means there's a little bit more ability for you to come to the shop if you are in need of anything. And it also means that I'm getting better shipments, and so the store is getting stocked again. It is slow moving, but we're still getting there. Thank you so very much for joining me. We'll be doing a Facebook Live on Monday. I haven't quite figured out what yet, but I will try to get it online this weekend so you can see what we're going to do before, an hour before, like happened this week. Again, thank you so very much. Blessings to you all, and blessed be.